All right, everyone, do not adjust your sets. This is not a repeat episode of trading. This is the episode of mining, but we are starting exactly where we did for our trading video. We have 710,000 credits here at the Argonne Wharf, and this time, let's look for the miner. So, just like last time, you can purchase ships in person by going to the transporter room ship dealership, talking to the person at the counter, and everything will be awesome. Or you can open a map, right-click on a station that you are friendly with, and clicking buy ships. So this time, we want a medium ship, but we want a miner. So unlike the transporter, one thing I wanted to show you, so we bought a Mercury Vanguard trader. It says container storage, 8,200 meters cubed. There are different storage types in X4. As you can see, container, solid, liquid, and condensate. And all of those are different storage types which require different storage conveyances. And the trader is container, which is all finished goods. Everything from energy cells to weapon components to shield components to advanced electronics, all of those are container storage items. They're done. However, your miners will be two unique types. We have the Sunder Gas Vanguard, which has 10,400 liquid storage. So in this game, liquid equals gaseous. And there are two different gases, helium and methane. When we go over to the Mineral Vanguard miner, it looks different and it has 9,800 solid storage. So these are your asteroid miners that drill into rocks, and we have ore and we have silicon. And today we're doing a drill because there's a few extra things you can do with a drill miner that you can't do with a gas, but they both function essentially the same way. We'll pick a minimum preset just to get it off the ground, 265,000 to start. We'll keep our combat engines like last time. We'll keep our combat thrusters like last time. We'll put on Mark I shields like last time. This time, though, we have one medium weapon slot, and that is going to be right here on the side. So these are medium weapons. You can sort of see it highlighted there, but we are going to want a mining drill. Now, mining drills drill into the asteroids. The Mark I is 23,400. However, the mining Mark II is 128,000. Well, 118 with our discount, which can get ore faster. And since we have the cash and we're not too awful strapped, let's do a mining drill Mark II for our main gun. And we can also put mining turrets on it. So mining Mark I's in the medium, mining Mark II's in the medium. We will have 3 beams of mining power chipping at those asteroids. If you saw the last episode, you remember me talking about out of system and how miners are more effective out of system. As far as software goes, once again, a docking computer. For miners, though, a trading software won't be bad because a miner is going to be moving back and forth just like a trader will. If it passes a station, it's going to update your trade offers for you and basically just be another eye in the sky. For miners, we have resource probes on our ship that we're going to use, but if you don't have any extra resource probes, buying 5 resource probes might not be a bad idea. Now note here, the warning, missing resources has now popped up. If we were to put this in our shopping list, it will not make this craft until some ship, somewhere, brings 4 scanning arrays to this wharf. So since we have our own resource probes, we're going to undo that. Crew will have a captain, and the service crew will shoot the mining beams, gain experience. Once again, just like the trader, that service crew can be transferred to a military ship where you'll have actual turrets that do actual damage. And that is everything. So 540,000 credits. We'll add that to the shopping list. We'll confirm that order. And just like last time, in the medium ship bay, it is going to be making our miner. So if you didn't hear my last episode, this is a complete economic sandbox, meaning this miner was made by components that actually are on this station. Those components were actually made by a station somewhere and delivered by a trader from somewhere, and those goods were made from raw materials, probably ore or the gas that these very miners are going to do. So if you wanted to disrupt enemy ship production, you can start with their miners. No ores delivered, no parts made, no parts made, no ships made. It's all connected. So a little bit of a review there, but this miner is about to get its, there we go, door is open, miner is done, and we'll just Shift D, head to the Elite Vanguard, tell Miss Jasmine
Can I help?
to work somewhere else, and we're going to right click the drill, assign her as the captain, and
Affirmative.
assign, because just like a trader, once you reach skill 3 on your mining ship, they can do advanced auto mine. Oh, she's just gonna walk. So we can't do that until Jasmine has effectively replaced him, and then Willem can then move into the service crew role. And once he's service crew role, we can get him all set on our little elite. So there we go. Jasmine is in the seat of the miner. It's almost like a blimp, really, if you think about it. And there is Willem Slammer there as an actual crewman. But now that he's going to assume his role here on the crew, he's a terrible engineer. 0 stars. We're going to need him to work somewhere else. On the Elite Vanguard as its captain. Him as its captain. So how do we start mining? Just like trading, there is a simple action we could do. Tell it to mine, tell it to drop something off. Or we could do a repeat order, just like trade. We're going to open up our mining window here. We're going to click the legend. And we see that unknown locations are this gray area here. Minerals are in red. So let's see if we can find a bit of red. There we go. So this hex right here is red. It's difficult to see because no ships are there, but this is mineral only. Gas is in blue. So right next to that is a gas deposit. And in the middle is purple, which is a mixture of mineral and gas, which that leads me to believe that this is an excellent place for a resource probe. So our first order of business, left click the Elite Vanguard. We're going to head down to that area where everything was kind of mixing together. We're going to right click, deploy a civilian resource probe.
Undocking soon.
Once that is done, let's try to deploy a resource probe, say over here by the gate. So deploy a civilian resource probe there, that's 2. This is another place we might be able to deploy a resource probe in, at the north end of second contact flashpoint. Deploy a resource probe there. And there's a lot of purple here in Silent Witness 1, so we will deploy a resource probe there. All right, let's turn off this filter, turn off the legend, uncheck the mining filter. We'll uncheck the trading filter as well. Let our brand new pilot, Mr. Slammer, drop off those resource probes, and then I will be back to you. All right, just coming into this asteroid field here in Black Hole Sun 4. We're going to drop a resource probe right here at this location. The resource probe has a range much like a satellite does. So we'll see in this area what are the goodies like. So there we go. When we hover over that, we can see that this particular field has very trace amounts of ore. Almost not even worth it. Same for silicon. Same for methane, really. Helium's a little bit better, but this might be a decent place for hydrogen. But even this is not that good. We're going to move on to the next location here. In second contact 2 flashpoint, drop 2 resource probes here, and see if those yields are any better. And as always, if you wanted to pick this up knowing it's garbage, you can right click to collect deployable, but we'll just leave this here sort of as a reference. And this is where I should have stayed on that station and let my pilot do this out of system for me, because he's being, of course, very careful and very meticulous because I'm here. If I wasn't here, he would have flown straight in, dropped the probe, and then off he would have went without even recognizing that these asteroids were here. But second resource probe is about to be dropped. So as we could see, only trace amounts of ore, a little bit better hydrogen, but ice is the name of the game in this asteroid field, and things like water factories. Our second resource probe dropped off, and it's more of the same. So tell you what, I'll tell it to collect the deployable and shift that up to its next action. So he'll pick up that resource probe, and then we can drop it off somewhere else until we find some good ore returns. So in here, it is all hydrogen, so not really what we need either. What we'll do, we'll drop a resource probe here in Pontifex's claim, because even though they don't like us, they won't shoot at our miners. We could take our goods and sell them elsewhere if this is a really good place to mine. So once again, really no ore or silicon, just ice and methane and hydrogen. So I'll put one over here in Holy Vision. There's an ice refinery literally right in the middle of all this. Hopefully it's not all ice. And there isn't really actually that much ice here at all. So this is how I can tell this is probably a little bit better of an asteroid field. We got mineral sentinels and Tethys miners heading to the same place. So if the Holy Order of the Pontifex thinks this is a pretty loaded system, then it might be. It sure ain't much ore and silicon. So the most dense stuff to mine is the ice and hydrogen here in Second Contact 2 Flashpoint. So the biggest head start I think we're gonna have is the ice. It's almost a 4-star density. Everywhere you look around here is gonna be ice. What we'll do is we will open up our trading interface. We will open up our filter settings. We'll add remove aware, and we will select just ice and scroll out and see if anybody is buying ice. So out of everybody we know,
entering system,
only the Paranid are buying ice. The Holy Order of Pontifex is at -15. I think once we get to -10, we can dock ships at the stations belonging to that faction, meaning that we only have to improve our reputation just a little bit, and then our ice trader can sell ice to the Pontifex. So, yeah, let's work on that.
Yes.
All right, remove all orders and wait.
Elite
We will hop
Vanguard.
aboard.
Sir.
Keep in mind, if the police scan us, we're going to have to jump up really, really quick. But let's head
medical
to
supply factory.
any factory nearby. Any factory will do. Since this one is the closest, we will nuzzle up to it. Keep an eye out for missions as well, but these missions might be something that we can't do. Repair data leak. Yeah, we'll accept that. All right. Let's turn there, do this repair data leak mission, and also keep an eye out for any of those smugglers that might be coming out of these factories.
Thief! Stop them!
Right, so someone said thief. I'm on the lookout for any red. There they are. At least they were. Aha!
Gas transporter E.
Ooh, and a couple! Awesome, gained some reputation, -14. And then one more repair job right here. This should complete the task for us. Nice, and another +1. Next stop will be this medical supply factory. We'll take off a few more smugglers from the station. All right, all stop, park up, wait for them to say legal wares on drone detected or hear the beep. And if they don't spawn when you get right up next to it, no worries. You can just head on to the next factory.
Component factory.
Oh, there's one.
Civilian ship B.
All right, civilian ship B. Let's be very careful and not hit the station.
No, no!
Boom. Cool. And on to the next station. We'll be thanked here shortly for our efforts.
Thanks for your help.
My pleasure. That's another +1. We only need 2 more of those to get to -10, and then we can start actually docking. All right, so we got close. We got the little enemy ping, looking for a red flash on the edge of our screen. There it is.
Civilian ship B.
Nice, got him. And on to the next place. Once again, we'll be thanked for our efforts on the way. And then I think we'll need only 1 more. There we go, +1. We're at -11. Oh, and I already hear the enemy alarm already. There it was, down below us. Let's be extremely careful
Civilian
here.
ship C.
There it is. Let's not shoot the station and line it up.
Stop!
Nice. And I think that is it. So let's see if we turn from pink to blue. Nope, still can't. So it might be -5. All right, we'll keep working.
Vanguard.
You know, if I think about it, I think -9 we can dock. So -10 is the break point of can't dock. But -9, we're good to go. And the whole Paranid Navy is out here, man. Hopefully we don't hit one of them. Aha, got a smuggler.
Civilian ship C.
Let's not hit the station. Try to maneuver to a place where our guns can hit it nice and close. Single shots. There we go. Didn't hit the station, got the smuggler. This might be our tipping point.
Thanks for your help.
There we go, now we're neutral. Now we may trade remotely, dock, and build in space belonging to. Outstanding. Well, the Argon are certainly cooking. As you can see, a lot of ships being built here at the Argon Wharf. But I'm gonna hop on our Drill Mineral Vanguard, and I will take command of it to show you how to do some manual mining. And in the meantime, we're gonna have our elite Vanguard follow us, because after I'm done doing my manual mining, I'm gonna get off of this miner so that Jasmine has the best chance of getting stuff quickly. Oh, there we go. So when you're in scan mode and flying around, asteroids that have things in them will be orange here on your screen, and you can see there's some ore yield down there. So 182 in that asteroid right up here. And remember, I turned my turrets off so that they do not automatically shoot at this asteroid, because what I want to do is right when I get up next to it, we're going to turn on scan mode, not hit the rock. We'll back up, and what you see is sort of that light blue section right there. That's what we're aiming for. So we're going to middle mouse button to get control of our laser, and we're going to shoot those little nubbins off, because we have 104 ore just from that little nubbin. The whole rock only has 182 if we were to blow it up, but the nubbins have even more. So next nubbin comes up, we give it a shot, we'll vacuum it up, and now our storage is 21% full. That was another 104 ore there. We have not touched this rock. So another there. Go ahead and hoover that up. We're 30% full, got 88. Here's a couple more nubbins. And they pop just right off. So 44% there. I don't know if you saw, but we picked up Space Fly Caviar. That is extremely good to keep. It's extremely illegal, but if you can get a big batch of it, take it to a crafting bench, you can make 1,000,000 credits easy. So it might actually pay to do some manual mining out here if we get in spacefly eggs. Now, in the old days, you could turn off scan mode, turn back on scan mode, and it would reset the nubbins. So it was like an unlimited supply. But I think what they've done is they've sort of restricted it now, that certain asteroids have a certain number of nubbins. But that's okay, we've got a lot more out of this asteroid. 75% of our storage full, instead of even blasting this thing. And yeah, now it's not orange. I think there's no nubbins left. We'll go ahead and arm the mining turrets. It starts going to town. We'll help it out. Asteroid goes boom. We hold in the magnet.
Sir.
So we've got 728 ore, pretty good. This will also show you how to do a manual trade. But for now, I am going to hop in my spacesuit and get across to my small craft. All right, now that we're here on board, we will remove all orders and assignments and tell you to dock back up at Argon Prime while we set this manual trade for our drill here. And remember, they were hauling ore, so remove all orders and wait. We're gonna open up our trade dialog, filter our wares, and we are going to go ore. Okay. Scroll out, see who needs ore. And we literally have not found any station in our known sector that wants any ore at all. So to unload your cargo, open up your information tab, just drag all the way to the left and drop. And now our storage is empty and we can actually do some ice mining now. So remember, Holy Vision needed ice. So let's set up, just like we kind of did for the trader, a repeat order, confirm, So what we're gonna do is first we are gonna right click and we are going to mine for ice. Then the next thing we're going to do is right click, don't keep any ice, minimum price, bare minimum. You know, just whatever you can sell it for, sell it for, confirm.
Bargain prime.
And now that is set. That drill Vanguard will go to the field, mine for ice, sell it off, go back, mine for ice, and, you know, as long as this station has space for that ice, she will sell as much as she can. If she can't sell everything, she'll go back, fill up her cargo container again with ice, and come back and try to sell. This is a lot more powerful when we have more stations to our knowledge that take minerals. But the absolute great thing about miners is it's just a one-time cost. You get the miner and the crew. It doesn't cost anything to mine, and anything you sell, even at the bare minimum price, is profit. Now, they have 378 ice on board this water refinery, or this ice refinery. So I'm hoping they can store a lot more than that, so that we can get paid. And remember, according to the resource probe, there is quite a bit of ice here, so she should have no problem filling up her solid capacity with as much ice as she can get. So in the range of this resource probe, and it's got a pretty big range, the green circle that pops up around, so it says there's a lot of ice, and this resource probe kind of tells a miner where the most concentrated and best part to grab that ice is. So there's a lot of ice in this ring, and our miner went to the place where the ice is the most prevalent. So she's filled up 9,800 meters full of ice, but the only place that we know that buys ice is this ice refinery, and they're only going to buy, you know, a little over 2,000 meters cubed of our ice. We're still going to have 3/4 left in our tank. So after that sale, thanks to our repeat orders, she's going to go back to that ice field and fill up once more and try to sell this factory. This is where going out, finding a lot of factories and a lot of trades really pays off. So we're only going to make 8,500 credits, but remember, this is a no-cost thing to us. Once she sells off a bunch of minerals and ores, the miner will pay for itself eventually with no upkeep costs, which is good for miners. But the power of the miners is to supply the stations with everything that they need to be self-sufficient. That's where the real appeal of miners are, not selling to the open world, but having your own refineries that could take the entire load of ice every single time and make a ton of water, for example. So she sold that ice down to 7,240 meters cubed, and her next order, of course, is to undock and go back to mining, and she'll continue that loop forever. And if we find more ice refineries, we can add them to the queue, or just have her mine silicon or ore instead. Because back in my main game here, that I've been playing for quite some time, you can see I don't have any unassigned ships to mining duty. I don't have any miners that their sole purpose is just to mine and sell back into the economy. All of my miners are working for my factories. And when we cover factory builds, I'll get into assigning miners to a station and having them get that station to be self-fulfilling. But a nice, quick, and easy run on miners. But just for purposes here, this Sunder Gas miner is a 3-star miner. I'll remove all orders and assignments to show you the advanced auto mine. So advancing auto mine is basically the same thing as trading. You say what you wanted to mine, helium, hydrogen, or methane. If you say la-di-da-di everybody, assign it an anchor space, so silent witness 1. And because of our 3-star pilot, we can go 3 jumps from here to sell off anything that we can find. And then those miners will be kind of self-sufficient until you get a station that you can assign them at. So that will cover mining. I think next time we can get into a little bit more aggressive action, and I kind of want to show how to make a pilot in a small ship, abandoned ship, so that you can claim it for yourself. So I hope you will join me then.